So folks, I'm sure you've heard that they're gonna remake the old classic, Total Recall. I don't know about you guys, but I think remaking classic movies is a load of bullshit. Who wants to screw up a classic? I mean, they do it all the time. It's the same thing with silly sequels. American Reunion. 13-year reunion. I mean, that makes no sense. Steven Spielberg himself said that he is going to retire because he doesn't want to screw up any more good movies from our childhood. Now that really says something. It means to stay the fuck away from our classics. Now I'm most disappointed at the latest Indiana Jones movie. I'm sure you guys remember that one. Nuking the fridge. That term is now forever a part of movie history because of how bad these ridiculous sequels are. Now there's only one reason these guys would ever want to make these movies to begin with, and that's money. It's all about riding on the glory and fame of those previous titles just so that they can make more money, no matter how bad the movie is. I mean, they just use the old name recognition to lure you in, you buy tickets, you waste your money. That's how business works. Now, if you guys want to see these movies, by all means go see them. You might laugh, but just know that it was never going to be as good as the originals. They always get worse, to the point where they just suck. Now let's go back to Star Wars. Classic. Great story, great characters. We all loved it. Then they started doing the remakes. Okay, it didn't seem that bad at first, and then those sequels, or prequels, came in. They were terrible. Bad acting. The story, I can understand it, but they just put in a lot of ridiculous bullshit. Then they go back and remastered again the original three, reworked it, added more shit. It just got stupid. Ridiculous graphics that don't need to be there. Now that's a good movie. Seriously, it makes no sense at all. How does he survive? This one was pretty good. Okay. This is just pointless now. Now that's a good movie. Need I say more? It's like Hollywood is starting to run out of ideas. They feel like they have to revisit these plots in order to stay fresh. But if they've already been used, they're obviously not fresh. People have already seen the previous titles. So they're just going to ruin the stories that we grew up with. Now, not every movie is a victim of the sequel or remake bug that just infects it and turns it into shit. Now, the Star Trek reboot, that was a full reboot, and it did pretty well. The latest Predator reboot, that did pretty well too. And those new movies that are coming out that are under the trilogy stages, they're doing pretty well too. My biggest worry is I don't want them to make too many sequels because they're always going to fuck it up that way. With all this crap they're putting out, it's all in the name of money. Always profits for the big companies, and they don't really care too much about what the audience sees as long as we're willing to pay for it. So, if you are upset about a remake or a sequel, I would advise that you not go see it, because you gotta send a message to these folks. Don't screw up these stories. We want them to stay classic. We don't want you to revisit them. So if nobody spends money on it, they're not gonna remake movies anymore. Well, that's enough ranting for one day. Take care.